Welcome back, Bearhawk fans. At it again. I'm getting ready to do another plug mold part for the Bearhawk. This time I'm looking at making a floor section for the rear compartment, cargo and passenger area. I'm also going to integrate some underseat stowage areas at the same time. And this is how it starts. So I've been at it with shaping and forming the sheet steel, getting that to conform nicely to the frame. I've got some metal tubes that I'm going to use as kind of a feature to guard the cables. And I don't know, this plug will probably get two or three separate molds out of it. So this isn't going to be one mold. The next part of this, and I'm jumping right into it, is I'm going to start adding foam into some of these larger gaps. And that'll help me get some nice shapes started. I'm going to follow that up with my go-to Total Fair two-part boat fairing compound. A lot like Bondo, but sands a lot better and is a lot more expensive. This time around, I'm going to try something new, and I'm going to use household drywall just to kind of do all the final fairing, the light fairing stuff. So the first fairing cycle is going to be the structural filler, and then I'm going to follow up with the thin stuff on the drywall. It sands way easier, and because it's a one-time use plug, I think I'll be able to get the molds I need out of it. And then it'll be sealed up with epoxy anyway, so it should hold up to it. So there it is, foam, filler, some thin drywall filler, cross your fingers, hope that works, epoxy, and then I'll be ready for mold. So here I go. I've done the plug, I've done the mold. This thing is prepped, mold release, ready to go. And so I'm gonna get started right here with laying out the carbon fiber stack, getting the infusion done, and getting it mounted in the Bearhawk. That's the 2 layers of carbon. I got my templating done for where the foam reinforcement needs to go. I've done some shaping on these guys, and I've marked out where I need to drill all the holes. So get those drilled, mounted up, the last layer of carbon on there, and then we'll start the infusion. All right, that is the peel ply and the flow media in place. I'm gonna try to bag this the way it is and get a vacuum to it, check it, and then do an infusion. So here we go. I got it bagged. It is all set for an infusion, and that was almost a disaster. I don't know if you caught that in the time lapse, but I had to splice a bag to a bag. My roll wasn't wide enough, and I knew that going into it. I don't know why I put the joint here. I think people who do this for a living may have been a little more clean about it, or may have had the right size roll to begin with, but with all the things that go wrong, I was almost certain I'd have to rebag this thing, and I pulled a vacuum on it. I've left it overnight, and this thing is solid. Surprisingly, no leaks. So anyway, got the infusion set up, ready to go, got the vacuum, and I'm gonna get ready to mix my epoxy. I've got a slow cure and I've got a medium cure. I think I'll use the slow cure here. Not too sure I'll need it. There's quite a bit of distance there. This is the biggest infusion I've done, so to be safe, I'll go with the slow infusion. And let me set up a time lapse. Stop the time lapse right there. The infusion is moving right along. We're at the 1 hour mark, and I'm super pumped that I don't have a big bow wave of air bubbles there. it means this will probably be a clean part with no dry spots. I've got crystal clear resin in there, and I'm gonna do one last replenish and degas. This thing is baked. It actually sat at room temperature for 24 hours and then in the oven for 8. I'm going to strip off the bag, rip out the peel ply, which will probably take a couple hours. And so I'll set up the time lapse. Here we go.
Hey, that is super light. Holy cow. Wow. Got some dry spots. I'll have to touch those up. That is really cool.
So I have a few dry spots all around this thing, mostly up in the corners. There was probably something going on with the release agent. I'm not too sure, but overall, I mean, this thing turned out super lightweight. It's definitely stiff enough to be a floorboard, and shiny and clean looking, and I'm sure I'll go and get this thing scuffed up and dirty the first time I go to use it. But I'm gonna stop the video right here, and for the next time, I'm going to cut this thing up, get it fitted up into the Bearhawk along with all the other carbon fiber interior pieces. So I'll see you guys then.